Hello, welcome to this video. This is 1B.7. We are going to go ahead and utilize our graphing technology in order to answer questions involving rational functions. Today specifically we're going to focus on finding zeros of a function and then finding intersections of two functions. If you want to go ahead and pause the video, you can read these. This is specific to a TI-nspire, so this video is for TI-nspire users. We'll go ahead and go over how to create a ratio expression, how to graph a function, how to graph a second function, how to change your view, find zeros, and intersections. So I'm going to go over all of that in this video, but here's the step-by-step in case you want it. So let's go ahead and jump in. The rational function n is given by n of x equals the following function. For what values of x does n of x equal 0? So what we're going to go ahead and do on any calculator active portion, especially something like this, if you cannot factor it, is you're just going to graph it. So I can go to my calculator, I'm going to open up a new document, and I'm going to graph this function. So I'll create a ratio expression. Control divide is how you create that ratio expression. And we're just going to go ahead and enter our function that we have here. Okay, so we have x to the power of 3 minus 6x squared minus 6x squared plus 8 divided by x to the power of 4 plus 8x to the power of 2 minus 3. Okay, and here is our function. And again, if you want to change your window in order to get closer or to zoom in, you can go menu, window, and you can create a box, or you can change your domain and range and window settings. I'm going to choose box here because I want zeros. That's what they're asking for. So I see one there, I see one here, and it looks like I have one over here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find, it looks like I have 1, 2, and then a third one over here. So how I find zeros is menu, analyze graph, 0. And it's very easy. Click left, drag over, click right, and then you can see your 0. So negative 1.064. Okay, and I'm going to do this again. Menu, analyze graph, and 0. Click left, click right, and then there is my second 0, 1.305. Always include 3 decimals, rounded or truncated. Okay, and then lastly, analyze graph, 0, left, right. And we have 5.759. So, answer looks like it is C. We have 3 of them, 3 zeros there. Pretty easy. Okay, let's go ahead and look at example number 2. The function g is given by g of x equals 3x over x minus 5 squared. Determine the values of x where g of x is equal to 2.7, or state that there's no such values. So don't get thrown off by this question. They want g of x equal to 2.7. So all we're going to do is we're going to set 3x over x minus 5 squared equal to 2.7. You may be saying, how the heck can I solve this? Well, it is actually possible algebraically in order to solve this with a calculator. But again, if you have a calculator, you can graph this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to graph function number 1. This will be my first function. Graph this function. I'll just put F1. And then this will be function 2. I'm going to graph these two functions, and their intersection will be the answer. So let's go ahead, let's pull up our calculator and do this. I'm just going to open up a new document, home, and then again, new. No, I don't want to save, and I'm going to graph my new functions. So again, I have 3x, so control divide, 3x over x minus 5 to the power 2. Now, I'm going to graph a second function. So if you're going to graph a second function, maybe you just hit the down arrow, and then it asks you if you want to graph the next function. And if you ever just hit enter on accident, if you want to graph your secondary function, hit tab, and it'll bring up the second function. And our second function was 2.7, and you can see that here. Okay, so my answer is just these intersections. That's where my function is equal to 2.7 specifically. So menu, analyze graph, and we're going to do intersection. So again, left, right. Here's my first one. So this is going to be at x equals 3.134. No. Yes. Okay, and then my second intersection, menu, analyze graph. Left, right. We get here 7.977. 7.977. Okay, and I just want to make sure that I don't have more going on over here, so I'm going to go menu, I'm going to zoom out just to make sure. I'm going to center over here. Okay, good. No other intersections. All right, please go ahead. I want you to pause the video and try these next couple of questions. Try this next one, and I'll go over the answers here for you. All right, hopefully you went ahead and graphed our function here. We have the function graphed, and it looks like I have some zeros here. It's looking like I have 2. So I'm going to adjust my window, and I'm going to zoom in on the box. And if I do this, you can see specifically, yes, there's the 2 zeros. So I'm going to analyze the graph, and I'm going to find the zeros left, right. Here's your first answer, x equals 0.276. And then my second answer, analyze the graph, 0, left, right. And there's our other one, 0.724. Okay, so your answers, there you go. 3 digits, always, 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 always. 3 digits. 3, not 2, 3. Okay, next practice problem. Please go ahead. The function b is given. Find all values of x as decimal approximations for which b of x equals -3. Or say that there's no such values. Please pause, give this one a go, and then check your work. All right, so we have our 2 functions here graphed, and I have graphed my rational and the value I want it to be equal to, which is -3, and I'm going to find the intersection. So -3 is here, and it helps me identify where the function that I want is equal to -3, so I have a point here and a point here. I'm going to find those values again by analyzing the graph and finding the intersection. So left, right, we have a value at x equals -0.717, and we have a secondary point which is at menu, analyze graph, intersection, left, right, which is right here. So 1.635. Okay, and there's your answers. All right, last example for you to practice on is the function f is given by f of x. At what value of x does f have an x-intercept? What value of x does f have an x-intercept? Try this one. I'll post the answers here in a second. All right, I have graphed our function. Here's our function, and they want to know, where does f of x have an x-intercept? Well, an x-intercept is the same thing as a 0, so that's right here. I'm going to go menu, analyze graph, and I'm going to find the 0. Click left and right, and we get x equals 1.289. X equals 1.289. And that's your answer. That's all you needed. What x value does f of x, or does f have an x-intercept? That's it. So hopefully in this video you learned how to graph rational functions with your graphing tool and analyze the graph to find zeros and then intersections with other functions. Catch you in the next video. Thumbs up, like it, subscribe. See you later.